Hello, friends, and welcome back to Literacy Time. Are you ready for some more fun? Great, let's get started. Today, we will be listening to Giraffes Can't Dance, and then we will be speaking about the character in the story, Gerald, and how he feels towards the beginning of the story and at the end of the story. Hello, friends, so let's go over the parts of a new book that we're reading today, and the title of it right here is Giraffes Can't Dance. That is on the front cover of the book. What do we also have on the front cover? The author and the illustrator. Now, what does the author do? Writes the words. What does the illustrator do? Draws the beautiful pictures. That's right. So we have the front cover here. Now we have the back cover, and sometimes there's some pictures or information about the book. And then we have this part. What is it? Holds the book together. It is the spine. Good. So today we're really going to be focusing on the character in this book. This character, we'll find out his name when we turn the page. And we're going to be focusing on how he's feeling and something called a trait. So a character trait. How he's acting during the story. Okay? So let's see here. Giraffes can't dance. Gerald, oh, that's his name. His name is Gerald. We found out on the first word on the page. Gerald was a tall giraffe whose neck was long and slim. So really long and slim or thin. But his knees were awfully crooked and his legs were rather thin. He was very good at standing still and munching shoots off trees. But when he tried to run around, he buckled at the knees. What do you think that means? He buckled at the knees. Look at the pictures. Oh, he fell. Oh no, Gerald. Now, every year in Africa, they hold the jungle dance, where every single animal turns up to skip and prance. And this year, when the day arrived, poor Gerald felt so sad because when it came to dancing, he was really very bad. The warthogs started waltzing, and the rhinos rock and rolled. The lions danced a tango that was elegant and bold. Look at these animals dancing in the jungle. The chimps all did a cha-cha-cha with a very Latin feel, and 8 baboons then teamed up for a splendid Scottish reel. Gerald swallowed bravely as he walked toward the floor, but the lions saw him coming, and they soon began to roar. Hey, look at clumsy Gerald, the animals all sneered. Giraffes can't dance, you silly fool. Oh, Gerald, you're so weird. They're not being very nice to Gerald. Gerald simply froze up. He was rooted to the spot. They're right, he thought. I'm useless. I feel like such a clot. So he crept off from the dance floor and he started walking home. He'd never felt so sad before. So sad and so alone. Oh, poor Gerald. Then he found a little clearing and he looked up at the sky. The moon can be so beautiful, he whispered with a sigh. Excuse me, coughed a cricket, who'd seen Gerald earlier on. But sometimes when you're different, you just need a different song. Listen to the swaying grass and listen to the trees. To me, the sweetest music is those branches in the breeze. So imagine that the lovely moon is playing just for you, Everything makes music if you really want it to. With that, the cricket smiled and picked up his violin. Then Gerald felt his body do the most amazing thing. His hooves had started shuffling, making circles on the ground. His neck was gently swaying and his tail was swishing around. What is he doing? He's dancing! He threw his arms out sideways and he swung them everywhere. Then he did a backward somersault and leapt into the air. Wow. This reminds me of the picture on the front cover of the book. Ooh, I'm excited to see what happens. Gerald felt so wonderful. His mouth was open wide. I am dancing. Yes, I'm dancing. I am dancing, Gerald cried. Is he actually crying? No, he's just so happy, right? Then one by one, each animal who'd been there at the dance arrived while Gerald boogied on and watched him quite entranced. They shouted, "It's a miracle! We must be in a dream. Gerald's the best dancer that we've ever seen." How did you learn to dance like that? Please, Gerald, tell us how. But Gerald simply twirled around and finished with a bow. What are they throwing towards him? Throwing some flowers for his wonderful performance. Then he raised his head and looked up at the moon and stars above. We all can dance, he said, when we find the music that we love. Awesome. I love Gerald. So I hope you were paying attention to our character, Gerald, and really paying attention to his feelings and his character traits. Today, you will need some crayons and a blank sheet of paper. So what we are going to be doing is grabbing our piece of paper, and you're going to want to grab a crayon to split the paper in half, because we are going to be focusing on how Gerald was feeling in the beginning of the story and then at the end of the story. And you can even write his name up top. So if you need to, pause and take a second to do that, and then we can get started. Ready? All right, so what we are going to be doing is talking about Gerald's feelings. Let's think back in the story, and how did Gerald feel at the beginning of the story? So where we start the story. We can take a look back together and do a little digging to find out. So when he tried to dance is really what we're focusing on. So those emotions and those feelings. Now, he starts off smiling here, but then when he finds out that he is not the best at dancing to this song, he gets a little discouraged. And he's a little, would you say, sad? What about when he comes here? What happened during this scene of the story? Were they all making fun of Gerald? Now, how would that make you feel if you were trying to dance to a song and maybe you weren't the best at it, but you were trying your best, and everyone around you was laughing at you? How would that make you feel? Not too good, right? So, would you say that Gerald was feeling pretty sad at the beginning of the story? I would definitely agree with that. And we can look here and see he's kind of surprised. He's really embarrassed. And it even says here that Gerald simply froze up. He was rooted to the spot. He thought he was useless because he couldn't dance like the rest of them could to that song. So what you're going to do is you are going to draw Gerald at the beginning of the story and that emotion that he felt. Can everyone show me a sad face? What does that look like again? Maybe like this. Maybe he has a tear. Definitely a frown, right? When you move your lips into a frown. So maybe your eyebrows are a little shaky. So you can definitely draw Gerald showing him and how he felt, which was sad. And then you can also write the word sad. I know a couple of lessons ago, we were talking about emotions and feelings, and we wrote the word sad, right? We sounded it out. We thought, sad, sad, right? So my friends, I think you guys are going to do amazing at this, and I have so much faith in you that I am just going to send you off. Great work today, friends. I will see you tomorrow for some more literacy time. Bye.